네, 저도 트럼프 행정부에 요청하는 의미로 영어로 연설하겠습니다. Dear President Trump, my name is Sejin Lee, and I'm a senior at Seoul National University and the leader of the Youth Election Fraud Fighters. Today, I speak on behalf of the young generation of South Korea, people in their 20s and 30s, to urgently request that the Trump administration dispatch international election observers to monitor the upcoming presidential election in South Korea. Mr. President, the deployment of IEOs would help strengthen the transparency and fairness of the South Korean election and restore public trust in the electoral process. President Trump, we are aware of the desperate struggle the United States has fought against election fraud. Regrettably, South Korea's situation is worse than the U.S. South Korea has an irrational system in which the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court also serves as the head of the NEC. This makes fair rulings virtually impossible. Even proper investigation by the prosecution is effectively blocked. The Constitutional Court, with 6 out of 8 judges being former NEC chairpersons, has dismissed election fraud claims. It even ruled that auditing the NEC is unconstitutional. Despite overwhelming evidence, verifying electoral fraud within South Korea's legal framework is completely obstructed. As was the case in the US, the Korean legislature, judiciary, NEC, and mainstream media label any claims of election fraud as far-right conspiracy theories. Now, dispatching IEO is only remaining option to address election fraud concerns in South Korea. If an election is held without any form of oversight, a majority of the people may refuse to accept the results. And in the worst case scenario, there's a serious concern that it could even lead to civil conflict. Mr. President, the Chinese Communist Party CCP's interference in South Korea's elections is part of its broader strategy of unrestricted warfare against the United States. At CPAC in March, Chairman Matchlab revealed that South Korea's election servers are managed by Huawei, a company owned by the Chinese state and the CCP. This poses a serious threat to the free democratic world. If South Korea's elections collapse, the entire free order in Asia could collapse as well. We, the young people of South Korea, stand with the American people in saying CCP out. Free democracies must unite. We are aware that the newly appointed FBI Director, Kash Patel, has indicated his intention to investigate election fraud not only in the United States but also in other countries, with the goal of eradicating fraudulent electoral practices worldwide. We believe that now is the time for the U.S. to step up and establish election integrity around the world. Furthermore, Dominion is under investigation, and it is connected to Yeff, which is deeply involved with South Korea's NEC. We believe that investigating election fraud in South Korea could help uncover further instances of fraud in U.S. elections. Mr. President, the people of South Korea are fighting against election fraud more desperately than anyone else. Just like during President Trump's election campaign, countless young people in South Korea have joined election monitoring teams. Young voters in their 20s and 30s are shouting, "Stop that steal." The group I lead, Youth Election Fraud Fighters, works tirelessly to spread awareness about election fraud through Instagram, X, YouTube, and offline activities even after long hours. President Trump, if no one else, you will understand our earnest desire. Mr. President, I believe that the United States and South Korea were both founded with a mission to defend truth and liberty given by God. We will fight against lies and injustice. We will protect our nation from communist forces that aim to destroy religious and expressive freedom. Please, Mr. President, under your leadership, make the bold decision to send IEO and help ensure South Korea's election remains free from fraud. Let this upcoming election in South Korea be fraud-free. We will never allow our elections to be stolen. We go together.